Welcome to the Live Fully podcast. I'm your host, Victor, and with me is my fellow host for the day and head of customer service, Amanda. Morning. Oh, not morning.
No, today's a late recording.
Good afternoon. How are you today?
It still feels so weird to be sitting next to you and actually having to look at you.
I know. It
Like,
is a little bit
turn.
odd. Yeah, we're usually...
I've never been this close to you. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, we're usually like across the table from each other, don't have a camera on us.
No. I'm not really worried about the camera. I just want to, make sure it all works.
Yeah. I think we'll do fine. We've done several of these. I think we're pretty good. All right, so today it's a little bit different. Obviously, we're doing video for the first time, or at least it's been a while. Yeah, it's been a while since we've done this. Probably years now. Remember
Yeah, since
when we first
did
started
lives,
this,
yeah.
right?
But I was always behind the camera. It's weird to be in the front.
That's true. Yeah.
People don't know what I look like, so we'll see how that goes.
There she is.
I remember when we started, I was like, I don't want my name. I don't want nothing out there because people can be very interesting. And now, look at me now.
And look at you. You're actually more available than any of us.
I'm starting to get to be known more like you guys, which is kind of interesting.
How do you feel about it?
Kind of cool.
Yeah.
Raise worthy awareness, Just kidding.
All right, so today, yes, we're doing the video, but we're also going to try a new format out. So we're going to talk about a main topic, but on top of that, we're going to have these regular topics that we try to cover, or at least regular segments of the show. So one segment will be, we'll try to give you guys an update from the industry, so the Kratom industry, what's going on, news or research or something like that. We'll also give you an update on anything happening at ETHA. Mm-hmm. And then just in general, this is the Live Fully podcast. This isn't just the Kratom podcast. We'll try to give you guys some interesting finds that either Amanda and I have come across.
I actually have some because I'm getting a little tickle in my throat.
Okay.
So I finally got to use my garlic and honey last night, which was
not good.
I love garlic, but it was just a very unique flavor, but it wasn't that bad. And I'm trying to actually have Kratom tea today.
Nice. Same here. Huh? Cheers.
So we'll go over that later.
What's your blend that you're using? Mine's better, by the way. Okay.
So
all right.
What is the Kratom update?
So the topic.
The topic today is about utilizing Kratom for focus. Mainly focus, but I guess it'll be like my topic because that's what I use it more for.
Yeah.
I'm sure you do too. I don't know.
We'll talk about it.
Okay.
I added a couple notes in. But yeah, this is going to be the Amanda show.
I actually saw a couple notes. I'm actually impressed. Yeah. Did you do it 10 minutes before this?
Maybe like 20. All right, guys, let's get started. Okay, so new format. Let's talk about the latest Kratom news and research. And if, full transparency, we have notes here. So, if we're looking down,
Or up, because we have it on the TV
on the screen too. Yeah, we have a screen over there.
Oh,
we have Nicole in the room, as always.
Hey, guys.
And like Amanda back in the day, she's not on camera. But maybe one day, huh?
Maybe.
Oh, you know what? Maybe when you do Ask the Founders and it's just you two.
Oh, gosh. I have to work my way up to that.
We'll get you here. We'll get you in the hot seat.
Maybe some Kratom courage.
Yep. Get you to take some Kratom.
Yeah.
There it is. Promotes podcast courage. It's a new benefit. Okay. Latest Kratom news and research. So I wanted to cover a couple things. If you're in the Kratom industry, I'm sure this isn't news to you guys. It's been going on for some time, but there's been a little bit of, I guess the best way to describe it is infighting. There are two major nonprofit groups that represent Kratom. We all know the American Kratom Association, the AKA. That's the group that we are formerly part of, have been supporting since the beginning of ETHA. Actually, even since the beginning of the AKA. We were one of the kind of founding groups or members that kind of helped, get AKA to where they are today. So, we've always been supportive of the AKA, and so there's that group. There's a newer group called the Global Kratom Coalition. What is that, GKC? I don't know if you've heard of them. I'm sure.
I've heard of them through you guys. I haven't really heard of it through organically myself, on social or anything. I'm obviously more familiar with American Kratom Association and the team and stuff, especially after going to the summit in June.
In San Diego.
So,
Here in San Diego.
So I only know what you guys told me and what actually the ETHA has mentioned too at the summit, and it's very interesting.
Yeah, so it's a very
Unique
here's my take
situation.
on it. So there's these two groups, right? And they're both trying to advocate for the Kratom industry and for the Kratom user in general. I think both groups have missions to make education available, to put in common sense regulation, to kind of further the Kratom industry along in the best way possible. Unfortunately, the ways in which they're doing it are at odds with each other, and there's I don't know, like with any kind of disputes in the family, there's sides to all this, and then there's accusations back and forth about why people are acting or doing things that may not be in the up and up. And if you ask the AKA about the GKC, they'll say lots of unflattering things, and vice versa. So much so that the Global Kratom Coalition has filed a lawsuit against the AKA and Mac Haddow directly, as well as the Center for Plant Science and Health. So this has gotten pretty serious.
It does, but honestly, it shows kind of a little bit of growth in the industry, no matter what the incentive is of each side, because there is some conversation going, and there's some, feathers are being ruffled. So I'm glad that there's a topic conversation. Maybe not the way we want it, but at least it's surfacing to okay, let's do more than what we're doing now. Yeah. Hopefully the outcome's good, but we'll see.
Yeah. So I have my opinions about the situation. And in general, because ETHA has been in support of the AKA, I too have been in support of the AKA. I side with that side of the story. But in full transparency, I don't know exactly all the details and the position from the Global Kratom Coalition. And so I think it's only fair that we have those conversations with them before we form a final opinion, or at least any type of concrete opinion about it. So I'm open to be persuaded, to change my opinion about the whole situation. And so we're actually going to have on, I believe...
I'm horrible with names. I think it's Matthew.
Matthew Lowe, right? So Matthew Lowe is from the GKC. Amanda's working, and Nicole, they're working on getting him on this podcast.
Ready to Go is just a video kind of doing the remote recording. I'm not the very best, so I'm trying to figure out with MJ. But once we have that, we'll get that going, and then we'll get that perspective. Yeah, so we can hear directly from them, from Matthew, and ask all the questions to clarify their stance and why there's this, this kind of infighting that's happening within the industry. I mean, in general, so we haven't talked about disagreement, yes. We haven't had this conversation yet. So my overall take on this is I just find it to be kind of disheartening, just kind of sad that, we're not a big industry. And there's not many folks fighting for Kratom. And to see that there's fighting within, it's just, I just think it doesn't do us any good. I think if we're a united force, we're more powerful and we're more persuasive. And I think, I'll just leave it at that. I just want us to kind of get along, work better, be in one voice and going out there, because it's already hard enough for us to get anyone to listen to us. Yeah. And now we have conflicting stories. He said, she said, oh, you support 7-OH products. No, I didn't say I support 7-OH products. And it's we're getting into the details. And overall, we need to kind of work together. I think at the end of the day, the science will speak for itself. And that's all we can count on, really. And then actual good intentions, people know. Well, I mean, I don't know if everybody knows about the GKC, but everybody knows the intentions of the AKA. They've done such great work. Their team is amazing. Mac's amazing. I don't want that to overshadow maybe what the GKC might bring. But I hope at the end of the day, at the end result is positive for the industry and not creating sides. Because I always tell you guys, always, our team is as good as our leadership. And if those two are going to be the head front, then what's the community going to be if they're not agreeing, Yeah. So hopefully they figure it out, and sad that it has to go to legalities and all that, but...
Yeah, lawsuits are being filed. It just gets dirty.
We already deal with enough lawsuits just on the product itself. I can only imagine this kind of lawsuit. So hopefully they figure it out soon, and then we could just learn from this experience and hopefully support each other. But
yeah. So stay tuned. We will have a future podcast featuring Matthew Lowe and the Global Kratom Coalition, and then we can all kind of figure out where we stand with those two groups. Okay. On a more positive note, I wanted to talk about on September 20th, we had a congressional briefing on, as you mentioned, the kratom science. Mm-hmm. And I thought that was super cool. If you haven't had a chance to check it out, please listen to it. It's on YouTube. We'll put the link in the description here. It's a really good watch.
I'm glad you included it because I would not find it.
There it is. There's the link. Yeah. So this is taking the researchers that are on the forefront of kratom science, and they're presenting to Congress. And it was a good, not only introduction to those, if you're listening and you don't know much about kratom, Dr. Chris McCurdy goes over a lot of the basics. We also had Dr.
All my favorites.
Yeah. Kirsten Smith.
Yes.
Dr. Smith, she's amazing. I love her when she presents. She did a really great job. And then, Dr. Ed Boyer was there as well, too.
He's amazing.
Yeah, he's good, too. Anyway, so not only are you getting kind of high level, what is kratom, some of the foundational research that's out there, but they go into some of the latest research that's happening as well, too. So Dr. Smith goes through the driver impairment study where they had folks using kratom, see if it actually...
she spoke about it?
Mm-hmm. She spoke about it in Congress. So that was really cool. Yeah, we got that first preview of the study.
I did a podcast with Madeline with Kratom Stories, and I was talking about it. I was like, I don't know if I can say anything yet because it's still under... and you're over here telling everybody her business, but I'm glad she presented it, and I'm glad it's out there because it's really good research. I was really like, wow, this is really cool.
Yeah, so check it out. No spoilers. Maybe a little spoiler. Kratom is
with
good.
You?
Kratom is not an opioid. Fun fact. And you can drive fine with it. So there you go.
I talk about it all the time because I have a 45-ish minute commute depending on the time. It could be a little bit more. If I have to come in super early, it's almost an hour and 20. And taking Slim Fit MidDay combination, actually I've been taking CMOS too now, has helped me not doze off. Obviously a good playlist and all that stuff does help. I don't try to do podcasts so much because then I get sleepy, but kratom helps me.
Live Fully podcast.
The kratom has helped me stay alert and focused while I drive. Yeah. Regular does nothing crazy. Especially coming home, you're just staring at the computer all day and you just get tired, and talking all day with customers also mentally drains you in a good way. And kratom helps me get home and safely too.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, if I have a long drive, like if I'm going, driving to Arizona or something like that, which happens often, and it's kratom. If I don't take kratom, it's replaced like back in the day having to take energy drinks and coffee and all that stuff. It's kratom tea with a couple of our whole leaf kratom tablets. That's the way to go. Okay, I'll leave it at that for updates. ETHA updates. We have a couple things that have happened in the last, a couple weeks or so. We did release a new plant variety, which we're calling MidDay. So it's the kratom that has a fairly high amount of MIT or mitragynine or mitragynine, however you want to pronounce it. We just say MIT. So that MidDay plant is available. So
people are liking it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Cool.
Good feedback online, mainly online. I haven't had anybody really do in store, at least in Escondido, but I've heard good feedback from it. So
yeah, people are ordering it. I know we have had a couple delays because interest has been pretty high. So we have a couple. I just saw in the queue this morning. The couple days delayed trying to get the plant there to everybody in the best way. But we don't rush them out.
It's not just a regular 12 to 14 inch. I think we're also doing a big tree, like a tree size.
Yeah, and shipping a tree ain't easy.
I'm like 5'7", I think, and it's about that or a little bit more or something. I'm not sure. Yeah, I can't remember the specs, but
I think we said at least 4 feet upwards. So so they're about 5.
Well, I mean, I was looking at all the plants, so they're all taller than me, but yeah, usually they're pretty tall and bushy too.
Yeah, well, it just came out of summer. And summer is when they sprout. So I'm not surprised to hear that they're they're pretty big. So we have that. Check them out. It's MidDay. If you look under live Kratom plant, you'll see the different varieties we have available. The other big news, we're doing this video podcast. So that's a big deal for us. Hopefully it comes out okay and people enjoy it.
Hopefully.
Hope we don't lose followers because of it. And then another thing that's happening in a couple days, one of the brands that we support is Element 115 Botanicals, E115. It's here, this guy here, you probably see it on the camera here. That's legendary skateboarder Danny Way. That's his brand. We're the exclusive manufacturer for that brand. So it's powered by ETHA. Danny is going down with Alexander, my fellow co-founder. So ETHA co-founder Alex is going with Danny down to Mexico for, what is it called? I always want to say Skate Park Fest. Okay, so Skate Park Fest in Mexico. You can look for, we'll have the link in the description as well too. They're opening up skate parks across Mexico, which I think is super cool. Gives kids something to do besides just scrolling on their devices.
I remember growing up with I didn't skateboard, my cousins did, but I remember having skate parks everywhere.
Mm-hmm. So that's really cool. If you go to the website, you'll see Danny Way is the featured person there. He's there. He's going to sign autographs. He's going to talk with people. He's going to skate with people, I'm sure. Going to do lots of fun stuff. And Alex is there too. And the whole thing is branded and sponsored by Element 115, as well as other sponsors. But you'll see Element 115 all over the place.
Nice.
So if you're listening to this, you're in Mexico, and you're even close to this place for Skate Park Fest, check it out. I know we're handing out samples and swag and all that fun stuff too. So it's all there. And I think above my head is some Element 115 products right over there. Any other updates you want to share?
Nope. I think you covered pretty much all of them.
All right. Those are kind of the major things.
Yeah. High level ones.
They're interesting. There's like boring stuff.
Boring to us, but it's exciting for other people to know and get the ins and outs of like not just talking about Kratom, getting to know progress in the industry and the business. And like everybody's always so interested in the business part. It's so like normal to me to know these cues and things. Talking to Madeline's made me realize that, behind the scenes stuff is interesting to people. They don't know and they don't get the behind the scenes kind of stuff. So
we're doing you can order online and pick up at our stores.
Don't start there. We're still figuring that out. It's in TBD.
It's there. You got it. Mm-hmm. Come talk to us. We're here. Okay. The next section is like what do we call
the
this
natural
thing?
Health.
So one of the things I thought was super cool. I know. Okay. So I haven't gone deep into the research itself. So I read the article and then I high level reviewed the actual study. So yeah, I might amend all of this at our next podcast episode once I get through it deeply. I always like, if anyone's listening, whenever you see a headline making these claims and they're citing research, go to the research. It's publicly available and read it. And don't read just the abstract. Read the full thing, and then you really understand. Because sometimes the conclusions and the abstracts don't truly capture the details and I don't know. I just read it. It's worth the time. So this is from JAMA Internal Medicine Journal. There was a study done in China. And it was looking at, actually, can you go to the link itself? It's PubMed right there, down there, Nicole. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't put it as a link. And let's pull it up. I'll give you guys the real title. Link will be in the description as always. But it's an interesting title too. So it's acupuncture versus sham acupuncture for chronic sciatica for herniated disc, a randomized clinical trial. And the reason why it caught my eye is I actually suffer from sciatica pain, and I have a herniated disc, and so do some of my best friends. And so when I saw this, I was like, oh, and I've done acupuncture. So this is like, I got to read this thing. So they took 220, if you can go back, they took 220 participants. And I thought this was an interesting study. So what they did was they took half of those people and they gave them true acupuncture treatment for sciatic pain. So if you guys don't know what sciatic pain is, it's the largest nerve in your body. It's pain that's associated with the lower half. Usually goes down your leg, starts in your like lower back, hip, down to your legs. Sometimes there's numbness in your toes and throughout your leg. Definitely has pain associated with it. It just sucks.
Do you know sciatic is linked to diabetes or anything like that?
Yes, there's some. Well, I shouldn't. I'm like
I'm just curious.
There's definitely cases to be studies that have, not even full studies, but just kind of a lot of knowledge.
I only ask because I know in the Hispanic culture it's very common to hear that you have sciatica pain, and a lot of people that I know have diabetes. So I was just curious because of the toes and what you just mentioned. And then what we normally, I only went one time and it was bad for my ankle, but they go to sobador, which means massage, but it's like the real massage,
the deep tissue.
And usually that helps. So I wonder if you've ever. There's actually one down the street from Escondido that Bert and his family go to.
Oh yeah.
If you ever want to go,
I'll go. I've tried everything. I'll do it all. I'll do everything.
I didn't realize it was literally down the street from Escondido until one of our customers in Escondido, Frank, he's been having issues with his sciatica and all that stuff. I was like, oh, I know Salvador around here. I just have to look for it. And literally 2 blocks down.
Okay, yeah.
So
yeah, send me information, or Cole, if you can book a time for me, I'll go. Yeah. So yes, I mean, there's a lot of links with diabetes and just in general in health. So health conditions, including something like sciatica pain. There's a lot of links with diabetes and inflammation and just overall like weight gain and the kind of the problems associated with it. So, I haven't like found a specific research on it, but yes, I have heard a lot of talk about that link. So this study, like I said, there was half of them went through the full real acupuncture treatment for sciatic pain, and then the other half got what they call the sham treatment. So like they put needles on people, but they didn't actually put it all the way through. I think they're just pretending.
Acupuncture is just needles, nothing in the needle. So
just needles.
It's just needles. It's just a pressure point. Like Kung Fu Panda.
Yeah, like Kung Fu Panda. Exactly.
My thumb says.
What was it, like a thumb or what?
It's like the leg went like this or the arm.
Yeah. And then they surveyed these folks like after 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 months, up to a year, 52 weeks later, they surveyed them about their pain levels and all that. They also did this index just to measure, for them to answer things like how well they're sleeping, how if they've been able to lift up heavier things.
And this is constant acupuncture, right?
No, one treatment.
One time?
Yeah, I believe that's
for a year.
I might be wrong, but I think it was just one solid treatment, and they just surveyed these people for a year, and these people could not have had any treatment beforehand. So they had no treatment beforehand. We're not taking any pain meds. So trying to control for this. For this study, for the actual acupuncture treatment. And what they found was that the folks that received the actual treatment scored higher in terms of reporting relief and having more kind of better quality of life, better sleep, being able to move around better and having less pain. So super interesting. Definitely check it out, read through it, and let us know in the comments if this was a BS study that I should not have brought up.
It's good to know, just to be aware. Like, even myself, like I started getting a tickle in my throat. So over a month ago, I had to talk to Alex about it. It's just basically whole cloves of garlic with honey, raw honey. And you let it ferment for a month in a dark, cool area. So whenever you feel like a sniffle or something, you're supposed to take some of the syrup and then chew on a garlic or two. And finally, it was a time I was just looking at the jar in my closet, like, okay, it's time to do it. So I did it, and honestly, as soon as the syrup hit my throat, almost instant relief. Really. And then I started chewing the garlic, and I was like, okay, I don't know about this one, but I took some. The morning, I mean, I need to stop showering at night and with wet hair because that doesn't help. So I didn't wake up that great.
It's such a like our culture, that belief.
Yes.
I don't know if it's a wives' tale or not, but like
when you get a cold, you're not supposed to like drink cold drinks or milk and all these things because of the phlegms and because I'm getting a little phlegmy. But I don't want to get cold. I mean, I want to get a cold because I'm going on vacation with my mom in like a week or two. And I'm not trying to have that while I'm there. Especially the climate change too. It's getting cooler, so I know that's part of it. And then when we go, it's going to be hot. So then my body's going to be in shock. So I did that. And then I researched some things where it said gargling salt in hot water. I always knew that helps with tooth pain. My mom always did that. But I guess the salt helps kill the bacteria in your throat. So it kind of shocks them. I never knew that. So I did that.
It's interesting, huh?
And then they
Same
said...
with honey, too.
Yeah, they said also warming up half a lemon with salt and honey, and then taking the juice, kind of like the cough syrup, like a natural one. I'm going to do that after work. I didn't have time this morning, but those are kind of like the tricks I've done. And then the mouth tape has been helping too. But yesterday was very interesting to do the garlic thing.
And it worked?
It did almost. I think I just need to constantly keep taking it too. As all things natural, it's not just a one-stop shop. You have to keep taking it, and consistency's key, and that's the part where I struggle with. So I just gotta work on that. But I think next time I'm gonna try to steam the garlic first and then ferment it, because chewing on the garlic and the honey taste was very unique. But
yeah.
Steaming definitely better.
So are you gonna share the recipe with the listeners, or
Yeah, I just did a. I honestly just did no. I just did a jar, just whatever size jar. I did 3/4 of the garlic, peeled garlic. I just bought it at Sprouts, but you can get peeled garlic at Costco, and then just make sure it's raw honey, and fill it up, not all the way to the top, because you have to let it ferment for like 5 days, I think. Then you have to let the jar burp, because obviously it creates all the gas pressure. So you have to let it burp a couple times, and then as long as you store it in a cool place. And I just do it in my closet because I know I'll see it every day, versus the pantry. I know it's a really random place to have it, but it's set in a dark, cool place. And my room, I have 2 windows now, and I don't like the dark, so my room's really bright. So I wouldn't be able to just have it on my dresser or anything. So, and then I also read that oregano with black seed oil gel caps help too.
Okay.
Like antibacterial, helps with like foot fungus, ear aches, all these things. Very, very basic research, but.
So will you add it to the description?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. We're running out of a little time. I'm sorry I have to cut it short today because I got to pick up the kids. But why don't we go through? We did say this is about focus. So we got to get into that. So
I mean, we've talked about it many times.
Why don't you share your tips and we'll just skip mine. I don't really take Kratom for focus, so it's not a big deal for me, but go through yours and then we'll just end it.
Yeah, the only thing that as you all know, MidDay Manda is my favorite. MidDay Gold is my go-to. I struggle a lot with focusing.
See the review? Yeah. Sent you that review?
I saw it this morning when there was a review that we get alerts when you guys leave reviews on the website, and of course this amazing customer recommended that MidDay Manda was the best, and Slim Fit, which I always talk about.
I know,
too.
that's what I was like. Oh, of course, this is Amanda. Did you write this, Amanda?
No, it's not. I knew you were gonna say it was me. We can't and this full disclosure too. Yeah. We use an app that doesn't allow us to put reviews. It's actual authentic reviews from customers that are actually reviewing our stuff.
Yeah, you have to purchase something, and you have to be
So a lot of people ask that too, because some people do put like false reviews, but just so you know, reviews are authentic. And
that's why we don't have like a ton of reviews. If you see a like a product that you like that has like thousands of unless it's like a huge, like well established brand, it's probably some shenanigans happening. Yeah. None of our products, we have like 40 reviews, 100 reviews on a product or something because people are really taking the time to do it, and we're not incentivizing folks. We're not giving them free product or anything like that. I don't think we're doing like win $100 if you leave a review.
No.
It's just real people that just want to share their story.
But I think she listens to a podcast because it was very funny that she picked MidDay and Slim Fit and reviewed it and did great. She just forgot to mention my name. If you want to mention my name, you get a discount. I'm just kidding. Actually, I do have one. I actually do have one. I just haven't used it in forever. But if you do, I'll put in the link. I'll put in the description. So I use MidDay for focus, and I get really anxious. As you guys know, I don't like to drink coffee because coffee gives me more anxiety, and then it also gives me stomach problems.
But you love the taste.
And yes, I love the taste. So actually, what I just did is after work, I'm gonna go to Sprouts, like I mentioned, to get all the sick stuff that I want to try. But also, I'm gonna start drinking for real matcha at home though. Because sometimes the matcha out is not really great. So I want to get ceremonial. I wish Alex was here so I can ask him what he likes so that we can use it. Or so that I can buy it. But he's
ceremonial grade
matcha. And I'm borrowing the matcha thing from here, because we have it. And just see how long this lasts. And I'll get my own. But I actually, it's so extra. I bought disposable cups for the house.
Okay.
So it makes me feel like I went to a cafe.
That's a good idea.
And I don't have.
Did not.
Yes, I did.
That's
Yes,
actually
I
a good
did.
idea.
Because I don't want to carry a
Starbucks?
mug home. I mean, I don't want to carry a mug to the car. First of all, it doesn't fit. And then if I have those travel mugs, I always forget them in the car. I always forget them in the office and nothing. And if I'm already buying coffee pretty much every day, which is not great, and that's the other thing. That's the reason. $12 for 50 cups, probably $30 for ceremonial grade milk and stuff. Way cheaper than going.
Reusable.
They're recycled plastic, and I'll be recycling the cups. Okay.
Okay.
But that'll help me also be cost effective. But at all seriousness, Kratom is way cheaper than doing the coffee, and that really does help when I'm in a pinch. Also, like I don't have time to get coffee and all that. So midday, Amanda, and Slim Fit actually works really well for the focus for me. Again, everybody's body's different, so maybe the sunrise is more beneficial for you. I know it is kind of more for you as far as a little bit. I know that you don't really take so much midday, but maybe Slim Fit. Or you try to take Slim Fit because you're trying to work out or whatever.
What's this working out thing?
When's the last time you worked out in the morning with Enzo?
It's been a while. I have a newborn, all right? This is not easy. I'm not sleeping tonight. But this morning, Nicole and I just agreed that we're gonna.
It's always me and Nicole always agree this morning.
Yeah, we're gonna do. As
a matter of fact,
we're gonna do a workout jar, and every day that we don't work out, we got to put a buck in. So it's like a swear jar.
And working out,
we're gonna be so rich by the end of the month. Just wait.
What do we do with these thousands of dollars?
That's hilarious.
So we haven't decided what we're gonna do with that money.
You should do it. You should buy donuts for the team, and you guys can't eat any. To encourage you not to do it, so that you can.
I was gonna give it to charity, but all right, donuts it is.
Because what's something that you guys really like that you would rather keep it for yourself, but not share, and it'll incentivize you not to put money in there, so that
Hot Wheels. I don't know. Okay. All right, guys. I got to get going. Sorry we're ending the first time we're recording in a long time. Ending it abruptly, but I got to get going or else I'll get yelled at by the school. Okay. As always, thank you for tuning in and getting some more insight on how we focus on our day and all the updates that we gave you. Hope you guys appreciate it. If you like the new format, great. Let us know. If you don't, let us know, and we won't do it because it does take time to gather all that stuff up.
Maybe we can split it up in podcasts, like every one we rotate or something. I mean, it's great to have all that information, but it isn't long. It's pretty long.
Yeah, we'll figure that one out.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. If you learned anything or enjoyed yourself, please support the show by shopping at ETHANaturals.com for all your kratom and botanical needs. We really do appreciate that. Follow us on social media at ETHA Naturals and write to us if you have any questions. Podcast at ETHANaturals.com. As always, I am Victor.
And I'm Amanda.
And I'm Nicole.
And as always, live fully.
Also, one more thing. If you are donating the money to charity because you didn't work out, you guys are going to be like, oh, you know what? I'm not going to work out today because I'm going to donate to charity.
That's true. It needs to be painful.
It's got to be like, I don't want the crew to get donuts. I want donuts.
I'm all for charity, but I know you're like, I'm not going to work out today.
Yeah.
We're going to go to charity.
Yeah, this is worth it. Okay.
I already know you.
That's a good point. All right, we'll come up with something. If you guys have any ideas on how we can torture ourselves with this money that we have to put in, I'm not going to put in any money. I don't know what you're talking about. It's all going to be good.
I have a few options.
That's all Nicole. All right, guys. All right, bye, everyone.